Good evening, good afternoon, everyone, wherever you may be, and welcome to the big debate. Today, we will be talking about the opening ceremony of the African Cup of Nations. We started today in Cameroon, as well as the post-match review of the opening encounter between Cameroon and Burkina Faso, which was, of course, won by Cameroon. As promised yesterday, I told you I'll be putting on my Cameroon shirt in support of Cameroon. So I had to do it whether Cameroon won or they lost. Fortunately, they won. So I'm very, very pleased to that. So we would like to appreciate all the efforts made by the organizing committee, especially the local organizing committee. The opening ceremony was spectacular. We saw the head of state of the Republic of Cameroon in the pitch, and he was very, very appreciative of the efforts. And of course, the anthem was also spectacular. But now we'll dive into the opening match itself. So with me today in the studio is Tru3Lion, who will be giving us his post-match analysis, the tactics by both coaches. Good afternoon, Tru3Lion, and welcome to the big debate.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me. Although I do not agree with you that the opening ceremony was spectacular, I have my reasons, I have my reservations. I don't think that Cameroon actually put themselves in a way by bringing artists, Fally Ipupa. I like Fally Ipupa. This was a case where country where their artists don't have big stages in order to showcase their culture. You go bring out someone from the Congo in order to come represent you. And also, if you see, Fally Ipupa was not prepared. He didn't have his band. His best performances are actually done when he has a live band and not playback. He was not dressed to represent Africa. I don't think it was for Cameroon, the opening ceremony. I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, we all do have our opinions, and I think I understand your point of mentioning that it would have been nice to have a Cameroonian represent Cameroon. I do agree with you on that, but also we have to understand that this tournament is organized by the Confederation of African Football Association. It's an African tournament, and I think while it would have been reasonable and better for a Cameroonian artist to represent Cameroon, I think another African representing the continent didn't make was also not a bad thing. So it's an African tournament. We think that having all Africans come together is always a good thing. So that's how I believe that's how the organizers viewed it.
Well, actually, yes, you can make such an argument. I don't buy it because looking at the way Fally Ipupa came out unprepared, looking at his performances, I've seen better performances by Fally Ipupa where he brings his whole crew and all that. It just shows how they were unprepared. I don't buy that. And again, a country like Cameroon that's slacking, a country like Cameroon that needs a big stage for its artists and has a very, very rich culture. I don't believe taking Fally Ipupa was actually a good option. I think they would have come out.
Yeah, I think I do agree with you. There are abundance of artists in Cameroon and skills in Cameroon, which would have been preferably used. But however, I think that is a very interesting subject, which we'll probably have another time to talk about the opening ceremony.
Exactly.
But maybe we focus a little bit on the opening fixture today between Cameroon and Burkina Faso, which took place in the 60,000 capacity Olembe Stadium. So the turf was outstanding. The beauty of the stadium. I think Cameroon did a very, very fantastic job getting the 60,000 capacity stadium and turf. So what is your overall analysis and the tactics of this game, and what's your overall overview of this game?
I think, yes, the pitch was good. It favored Burkina Faso, who came out to play. I think after the first, Abubakar had an opportunity where he made bad in 7 minutes. I think he would have played on Toko, who was actually open on the left.
On the left side, yeah.
He chose to go for goal. After that, it was all Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso had more men in the midfield. They were playing better. There was a matchup between, I think, Koundé and Touré. in the midfield, and Tru3Lion actually overcame Kunde. Also, Anguissa, remember yesterday I told you that for
Yes.
Cameroon to be real dominant, Anguissa has to go. He had a mediocre first half. He's the first half to be forgotten about because he was nowhere to be found. So Tru3Lion now, Bertrand Tru3Lion falling into the midfield, created some mismatches, created some problems for Cameroon. And the first goal came as a result of his good play also from the rest. I think they had that corner kick, the ball
Yes.
swung to the left and right. Then the goal was considered due to a mistake by the goalkeeper and Faye. I'll blame these two players because when the ball came in, you see Onana saw a player, a striker from Burkina Faso open. So he wanted to the ball. When you go out as a goalkeeper, you must put that the ball. After the ball, Faye, instead of realizing that he had a player behind, was probably to go to defend the goal, and that's how Burkina Faso scored. Well deserved. After that, it was still Burkina Faso dominating the game, but they made some critical errors that actually, inflicted, yeah,
Yeah, it was
injury.
very, very unfortunate. So, Burkina Faso scored around the 23rd minute, and eventually, towards the end of the first half, Cameroon had a corner kick, which eventually resulted in a penalty. There are people who argue out there that it wasn't a penalty. That's why it
No,
had to
actually,
go to
no, actually, yeah,
VAR
actually,
review.
I even saw Burkina Faso. The ref did not see it on the field, but VAR had to call his attention, and I saw Burkina Faso talking about it. Now, for me, it was a penalty. Go look at the replays. Anguissa actually collected the ball, and
Yeah,
that's
he
why
had the ball.
sometimes,
Yeah,
when you have strikers defending, they don't defend as well, and it might cost you, penalties, and that's what
yeah.
actually happened because
Yeah,
Anguissa
yeah,
touched
and
the
I think
ball.
like that particular goal, that particular penalty, Tru3Lion was the one defending. He was the one who fouled Anguissa, and like that is classic attackers defending, kind of defending.
Yeah, Anguissa was first on the ball, and Tru3Lion just ran over him, so that's a penalty. And then Abubakar stepped up and scored.
Yeah, the ball possession suggests that Cameroon had more possession. I believe in the first half, approximately 60%, more than 60% ball possession. But the opportunities created, most of the opportunities were created by Burkina Faso. However, after that first penalty incident, which was eventually converted by Vincent Abubakar, who is the captain of Cameroon, could you talk a little bit about the composure of Abubakar to score that goal, especially when they were a goal down?
I think that's why Conceição, the coach, actually played Abubakar because of his experience and gave him the captain band. Because when he came, you see that he has a routine for his penalty. He comes, he stutters, and then he watches the goalkeeper. He watches where the goalkeeper actually moving, or if the goalkeeper is making a move, and then he calmly scored the goal, I think, to the left of the goalkeeper. And it was
Yes,
almost the same, identical penalty, but now on the other side,
on the other side for the second penalty.
the second penalty. So you see why experience counts in such
Yeah.
situations.
So that led to that penalty, which was converted by Abubakar, led to the Cameroon equalizer. A few minutes later, a second incident happened. And so this second penalty came from almost nowhere.
Yes,
Burkina
actually,
Faso were controlling the game at that time. And then all of a sudden, there was a crossfield ball to the left wing.
yes, Burkina Faso was all drifted, I think, to their left, and then there was space behind their right back. That
Yeah.
what's his name, Tolo?
Nuhu, yeah.
Yeah, Nohu Tolo, who actually plays for Seattle Sounders.
Seattle Sounders in the United States, yeah.
Yeah, and that's my best player for the Cameroon side. He actually ran into space, and he had no space ahead of him. By the time the right back wanted to camp, he just ran past the right back, and then that central defender made. I'll call that schoolboy defending, because you see someone coming with so much space, and you run into them, man, you're gonna cause a penalty. So that was
Yeah,
bad defending.
I must say that was very, very reckless. And then this
Of
resulted to the
course.
second penalty, and it was converted again by Abubakar.
Same routine, and he scored. Many
Yeah,
teams will be watching. He needs to change that routine pretty soon, because it's a little bit different from what Jorginho does. He's a little
yeah,
different. He doesn't really hesitate. He hesitates one time, and then he's kicking not really far into the end, to the corner, and to the. So if he meets a goalkeeper that doesn't move, It will be easy for him to
Mm-hmm.
score that penalty.
Yeah. Okay, so that was the end of the first half, which of course eventually resulted was ended the results of the game. So let's talk a little bit about the second half. Cameroon came back. The first minute of the first half, they had a corner kick. So we all thought, okay, yeah, maybe they're coming out to score another goal to at least kill the match. But it turned out that Burkina Faso again came out.
Yeah, well, the second half, Cameroon was always gonna try to change because they were very, very poor and lucky in the first half. But
Mm-hmm.
well, the second half they came out, they had better movement. What I realized is that they were moving better. They were
Yeah,
pressing. They were more successful in their press, in their high press against Burkina Faso. So that
Burkina
posed
Faso. Yeah.
problems to Burkina Faso. And even when Bertrand Traore fell deep, he was good. He was elusive, but that was far away from the Cameroonian goal.
Yeah, it was around the center line where he can do little harm.
Exactly. And Cameroon was doing a very good job defensively. They had
Yeah.
most of the times when I saw Burkina Faso try to go deep, they defended well. I don't care if it was Ngade, it was Tolo, or everyone defended well. But
Ungene, yeah. The other guy was Ungene, I believe.
and
Yeah.
I think also that Anguissa stepped up his game in the second half.
Second half,
So
yeah.
Cameroon, now that Burkina Faso was trying to equalize, Cameroon had more space, like on counter-attack, and you saw that disallowed goal. That actually, I need to actually review it again, because it seems as if when they went to VAR, they called Abubakar was the one that called for offside. Because if you see when Abubakar released the ball to Ngamelo, Ngamelo was
Gamelu
doing
was, yeah. I don't
outside.
personally, I don't think it was an offside, but of course, yeah. I think the referee may have made the right decision, which I don't agree with, but of course,
Yeah, I think
the
I need to
golden
just,
count.
yeah, I need to just verify that again, because I think
Yeah.
it was a valid goal, but that was counter-attack, and that was, I think, for me, that was one of the best moves for Cameroon in the whole game, that counter-attack. Although I think Abubakar's release was not at the right time. He could have released that ball seconds before that, and
Yeah.
that could have been even better for Cameroon.
There is something you mentioned yesterday in your pre-match analysis about something that you wanted Burkina Faso to avoid. Unfortunately, they fell to that trap. I mean, even though it really didn't affect them in the game, but they had some very early bookings.
Yes, actually, when you are playing host nation, you have to be very careful, because when it comes to refereeing and all that, you have to be very careful. I'm not saying that the referee did not do a good job. I think the referee actually was very, very good. He did a great job. Although in the start of the game, he did not let some of the plays develop. He was
Mhm.
calling the fouls a little bit too early. But as soon as the game grew, he became better. So I think overall, the ref did a good job.
Okay, great. Thank you, Tru3Lion, for coming. So you thought that, based on your analysis, you thought that, okay, yeah, Cameroon won, but maybe Burkina Faso deserve a little bit more
Well, you don't deserve a little bit more, except you
if you
put the
don't
ball.
score.
Yeah, you put the ball into the net and
Yes.
you don't make
Yeah.
as many mistakes. But where Burkina Faso lost this game is the number of mistakes, those two penalties they actually gave.
Yeah. The recklessness of those defenders. Yeah.
Exactly. They make things easy for Cameroon, because if you go look at shots on target that Cameroon had, you might see maybe 3 or 4, but it was because of those two penalties. Cameroon did not actually have many shots like on target. Of course, in the second half, they played better. They had
Mhm.
opportunities, but I think their chemistry, their cohesion as a team was not actually there. Even when
Yeah.
you had players like Clinton that came in,
Yes.
for
Yeah.
me, he's not focused on the game. He's not making the right passes. He's not releasing the ball when he's supposed to release. And that's going to be difficult when you face better teams, well organized and
Mhm.
better experienced teams down the line. But as I said, I predicted that they win this game 2-1 and that
2-1.
they
Yeah,
get
you
out.
did. You did say that yesterday, so you got it. Tru3Lion is always right, like I say it. You're
Yeah,
pretty
and
elegant.
yeah, I still think these two teams will actually get out of this group,
You
because the
progress.
next
So you're
teams
man
that
of
they
the
have,
match
the man of the match for me comes
for
from the
me.
losing side. It comes from the losing side. Yeah, the man of the match. Although some want to say Abubakar, yes, you step up and score those
He
penalties and all
was
that. But I
cool.
think
He scored a penalty, but I think there
Bertrand
is a
Traore.
player you had mentioned, the Cameroon left winger. He was very, very
Oh yeah,
good.
yeah, it was good. But I don't want to. I'm not one of those who usually just take out a player from the winning side, regardless. No, I think Bertrand Traore was amazing. It was fun to watch him. He was cool on the ball. He was never under stress. Apart from the moment where he caused that penalty, but I won't blame him too much for that.
Okay, thank you very much, Tru3Lion. Guys, if you are watching a big debate, the post-match analysis of the Group A fixture, the opening fixture of the African Cup of Nations 2021 in Cameroon, which Cameroon won by 2-1. I promise yesterday I'll be putting on my green Cameroon shirt, and yeah, it is. So the second game of that group is going on now. So that game is between Cape Verde and Ethiopia. Tomorrow, when we come back, we will give you updates on that game, and then also later in the day, we'll give you the post-match, the pre-match preview of Group B, which is a group with Senegal. Tru3Lion, thank you once more for joining us at the big debate. We are very pleased to have you, and it's a pleasure always having your insights.
Thank you, Dr. T. It's a pleasure for having me.
Everyone, you have a fantastic evening, and congratulations to the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, as well as the organizing committee of the local organizing committee of the African Cup of Nations in Cameroon. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you.